Hey, Internet. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome.
Hi.
And we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. We haven't done this in a while.
Well, we've only done it once.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
and we're trying to do it more routinely, but we're really busy. So.
yeah. You can speak up a little bit.
Me?
Yeah.
How much more? How much more?
She's testing out the audio. Okay. Well, I've done this quite a bit. I mean, not necessarily the podcasts, but I've done...
You've done radio shows.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a lot. Like that was like a hobby of yours when you were in high school.
Oh, in high school, even after.
If somebody's very good at the internet, they could probably find those.
Probably. I have a lot of them saved still. I have them somewhere. I could always put them up as an old school podcast type thing. Yeah, actually, I have them on the other computer that we have.
Mm-hmm. Our many other computers.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Then we need to do the introduction. Most of you that are going to be I don't know who's going to be listening to this, but majority of people that are going to know who I am on the internet are going to be people that know me as MVP or MVideo Plus. That's my handle, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And you?
Anybody who knows me, I would be very shocked that they know me. It's a mystery. I've been all over the internets everywhere. It's just a mystery.
So you've been around the block.
Yes, like all shady, like disguise and incognito.
All right. Well, anyways, guys, this is a little podcast that we're gonna start doing, hopefully on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, whenever we actually get the chance. Wednesday nights sound nice. We could do Wednesday nights. Right? What's today's Wednesday, right? I don't even know what today is.
I think we could aim to put them up by Wednesday. That would be the most.
Well, it is Wednesday now, so if you want to do.
Yes,
Anyway, that's beyond.
Here, near
Yeah, that's not relevant at this moment.
I said hi there.
I'm
tired.
Yeah, and it's also not really late. It's late for us. So we're old,
boring like that.
old, boring people who are doing a podcast.
Why haven't we been doing this routinely? What's been up with you?
Life has been up with me. Thank you for asking. Work, kids, life.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much what
And
it is.
side projects that you've been trying to get to.
Oh yeah, a bunch of side projects. I don't want to get into that right now, though.
I
That's
know.
not.
No, I know. It's nice to leave it as mystery for me.
Ooh.
Mm.
All right.
I guess I haven't been urging like us doing it a lot lately because I've been busy too. I mean, I recently got a job and been busy with that, and I've been recently trying to do more side projects for myself and all that sorts of things. So we're busy. We're busy, very busy people.
Yeah, that we are. Well, let's go ahead and get started with the podcast then. What have you been watching lately? What's been your...
What have I been watching?
Yeah.
Well, I've been sticking to the same shows as I normally do. Looking forward to Doctor Who coming back this fall.
What are the same shows? People don't know. They're like, oh, she's just the same show. Oh, yeah, I got this. Yeah, okay, I know exactly what she's talking about.
Once Upon a Time, which it can be a debatable show at best, whether it's worth watching, but I'm in it, so I'm just watching it, and I have Hulu, so why not?
Is it one of those things where it's like a bag of chips? It's like, I've already eaten 3/4 of this bag, and I don't want to roll it up and just leave this little bit there, because then I'll never eat it, so I might as well just eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like that, where you shouldn't?
It has its moments. It has its moments where it's really good, and then it has its moments where you're just like, why am I watching this?
Yes.
It's kind of like a soap opera with Prince Charming. That's all I can get to. It's like,
It is. It's very soap opera. Like, I've seen it a couple
like
times
it
when you're
verges.
watching
This is how soap opera is. It verges on like telenovela type of soap opera. Okay.
You're almost missing, like, the only thing you're missing in that show is like somebody going,
Yes,
gas,
with the
mouth,
faces
hand
and
over
the
mouth.
and like if you could see my face, it's the squinting eyes and the pouty lips and the stare.
Pan to one face, pan to the other, pan
Yes.
back to the first face,
Mi
pan
amor.
back to another. Oh man.
The show that I'm really anticipating coming back though is Sleepy Hollow. He was surprised it was coming back for a second
Yeah.
season. I
Yeah,
knew
very.
it would be because that was a fantastic show. I'm
You
so
know,
looking
no,
forward to that coming
you
back.
can't use that. Oh, it was
No,
fantastic, obviously, because I
You're
watched
right.
it.
You're
I
right.
know.
gotten sucked into many fantastic shows only to be let down by TV producers.
God, what was one of Kings?
The Cape.
The Cape, King. Those are two of the big ones.
Oh, Persons Unknown. That was fantastic.
It was fantastic. It was a really good show, but I think once they hit I think they already knew they were getting canceled. So once they're like,
well, the problem with that
spoilers.
Show, the problem with that show is that it was. They put it out like it was going to be a mini-series event, like that there was going to be a beginning and the end, kind of like within the intentions of what American Horror Story does. There's a beginning and then there is an end.
Yeah.
And what it wasn't, because the whole thing was everything would be revealed by the last episode. And instead it left you at a cliffhanger, and it just gave out too much. It didn't make it seem like there was going to be a second season. I think it really let people down because it started throwing so much out there and leaving so much. You know what I mean?
Wow, you know what? Looking back at it, it's been 4 years since that show's been on the air.
Well, obviously it was memorable. We talk about it.
Like, I'm looking online right now, and there's somebody complaining that they just watched the series finale, and even though the commercials said that it was only going to be a mini-series and all would be revealed, that nothing was revealed. And yeah, that's true.
Yeah, things were revealed, but then there were more questions by the end. So it was...
Yeah,
that was the problem with that show. And as always, I am forever a fan of American Horror Story. That was amazing.
They did a funny thing when they aired Cape. I don't know if anybody listening has ever seen the show Cape. They did a funny thing where the series finale wasn't actually aired on live television.
Oh yeah, they put it on the internet.
Yeah, they put it up on the internet, and you could watch it online, but that's it. Like there was, I mean, at least they give them that, and that gave them a chance to close things.
Right.
It didn't. I mean, it was nice to have that extra episode.
It felt so
it was
rushed.
Like a say goodbye episode, but it did. All of a sudden, you went from, again, spoilers.
All of
to
a sudden,
not knowing,
you went from the arch of the story, like the major arc and arc.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was like, the end. Done. Nothing.
Yeah, because what was it? I always forget who the name of the bad guy was, but he reminds me of the Joker, like a modern day business type Joker guy.
What was his name?
I don't know.
It had to Chess.
Chess. There you go. Yes, Chess.
Oh, memory.
That was a good one. I would never remembered. But yes, they kind of revealed that, like they were barely getting to get to the big part of
thing.
Sort of, but they were getting to that big part of the series where the good guy finally goes head to head against the bad guy, and then from there it's supposed to take off.
And it was really amazing
because it was building up to that.
And it was building up with there's a bigger story behind that. Like, remember the whole thing about that organization called Tarot?
Well, yeah, because they owned the police force or whatever. I forgot what type of force it was, but and they planned on getting him killed.
Right.
Obviously, he didn't die because then he became the Cape, but he had to hide from his family.
You know what? It's on Netflix, and I believe it's on Hulu, and I would urge anybody to go and watch it. It's really great. Just keep in mind that it has its end. Yeah. But, you know, there's still a Facebook page to
it's not going to come back.
I know, but you know what? The people need to speak, and maybe if they spoke loud enough, we would get our way. I mean, they brought back shows. What was it? Arrested Development.
But it's
on Netflix.
But it's a Netflix only show. That would be cool.
Wouldn't that be?
Yeah, that was a cool trend that we saw for a while until they decided, we're going to come up with.
And I'm sure if anybody decided to mention shows that were yanked from air that left people sad, Firefly is always the number one mentioned show.
That's one thing that I have to admit. I have not seen the series.
I have not been able to put the time into watching it through and through. As always, in Joss Whedon style, it starts off a little slow and then sucks you in and never lets you go.
But I never got that with Dollhouse, though.
Dollhouse was great.
It was okay. It wasn't great.
Great. You know what though? It was a serious chick show.
But you know, it had really weird pacing. Like all of a sudden, you have this action-packed episode, and then one episode the next time, nothing happened.
I liked it.
Like it felt like filler most of the time. Where is this going?
You have a problem with shows that feature lots of filler. I've noticed. With
of course, you're okay. His
not
problem,
every show.
Joss Whedon's problem is building a character's backstory, getting you familiar with that character.
Right.
But he does it with some of the most unimportant characters that you're just like.
If we ever go to a Comic-Con and I get to meet Joss Whedon, I'm not bringing you with me
because
you're going to embarrass me.
I'm going to tell that guy how I feel.
And I'm going to have to say, I'm not with him.
There's another show too. I'm not even gonna get into this one because
Which one?
the show just frustrates me after like the second season.
Which one?
House.
I can only watch House up to season 3 or 4, and then I'm just like lost. And it's not so much because it gets confusing; it just gets pointless.
Okay, well let's get this moving. Another show that I know we've both been watching.
Which one?
Game of Thrones. No spoilers. No
I know,
spoilers. I don't want to
also,
do that
like,
to people.
I know so much based off wiking it or reading it or all sorts of things like that. And
Yeah, you're terrible.
I am.
Horrible.
It's because I want to know.
Oh, yeah, well then wait for it to air and then you'll know.
Why wait for it to air when there's already books out?
You know what? And that's another thing. You can tell this. You can tell who's been the ones reading the book when they're watching the show, like during the show, while it's airing, the new
Because they'll
seasons.
be like, "Ooh, this is gonna be good."
Yeah, like, no. Even if they don't say anything, it's just that look that they get on their face. It's like, it's like I know something.
It makes me think of that. It's a meme, and it's from that chick of Saturday Night Live. You know, the one who does Gilly. What was her name? You know.
Oh,
where
was
she's
she
got, like, where she's
in
like biting
Bridesmaids?
her lip and like pushing her neck all the way down. Says, it's that look you get when you're like, "Ooh, I know what's gonna happen."
Oh my god. Yeah, and then that ruins it for people that, I just want to watch me. That's how I am. I'm not going to sit down and I'm not going to devote like 20 hours to reading a book. I'm not going to do that. I don't have enough time to do that. I'd rather devote one day a week to watch it for an hour, and that's good. I'm good with that. I'm okay with that.
But that's because you watch it casually. That's not like a huge.
Oh, don't give
thing
me that.
for
I'm
you.
okay. No. Same thing can be said about the Walking Dead series. You can be a fan of a certain type of media. Just because you don't indulge yourself in the entire series still doesn't make you a fan.
I am hyper obsessed with Game of Thrones. I am absolutely obsessed with it.
And I'm sure there's people that would say, no, you're not, because you don't own the clothes, you don't cosplay as Daenerys, or you don't do this, you don't do that.
Well,
there's always going to be people that are going to do
always elitists.
more. There's exactly. So you don't be an elitist when there's people above
I'm
you
just saying
when it comes to something like that.
If you're not willing to devote a certain amount of time, you're a casual fan.
You see, I hate that term casual because then it can be said about gaming. Okay,
You know what? You're right, because I've taken the same issue with you when you call me a casual gamer, and I'm like, hey, now that's not fair.
Just there's no casual, there's just gamer. There's no casual fan, there's just fans.
Music.
Huh?
Let's bring that up now. Music.
Ah.
And if anybody wants to chime in, if that's allowed, and wherever you're posting this, tell us what you would determine would be a casual or a hardcore.
That's a
fan.
good question. Well, anyways, like you were saying, let's go on to music. All right. So music. Okay. What about music? You're the one that brought it up. What do you mean?
Have you found any new music that you're just all about lately?
Not really. You know why? Because everything sucks now. Everything is all about.
I actually feel that music has taken such a great, amazing turn. I am all about music right now.
It's like, hey, let's take out the people in music and the emotion in music, and let's just add a bunch of beeps and bloops. I know I sound like I'm 70, but
right?
seriously,
You know what? I've
it is.
actually heard him say it's nothing but a bunch of noise.
No, that's about.
You said that about
what's
dubstep.
it called? Dubstep, and that died quickly. That died
I don't
really
think it's
quickly.
died. I think it's
Where
just
is it?
becoming far more toned
Okay,
down.
let's put it this way: it is no longer a mainstream sort of music because you don't see ads online or ads around on the radio or around. No, hold on, or around the city, saying, "Hey, there's a dubstep concert," or somebody's coming for a concert, and their genre of music is dubstep. You don't see that because it's not as popular. It's dying. It's okay. I wouldn't say dying. It's evolving. Let's put it that way.
It's evolved into a less
Annoying.
wow. I'd say concentrated form.
It's like sprinkled on things now.
Yes.
Right?
For a while, it was getting ridiculous with how much, and then eventually it just sounded like screeching of machines. And it was getting a little obnoxious.
It's like, oh, this strawberry sauce
Right
is
now,
delicious. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to put on my cheesecake.
I'm all about Arcade Fire. And I love that song Little Talks. I think that's what it's called.
Idea.
I could be mistaken, and forgive me if I am. But Little Talks.
What was the name of the band? Arcade Fire?
I think it's like Monsters and Men or something like that. It's the band.
Well, who's Arcade Fire then?
Arcade Fire is a different band. I mentioned two different bands.
Oh, of Monster and Men sing Little Talks.
Yes, I like Little Talks. That is an amazing song.
Okay.
And I like Arcade Fire. That's the sort of music I'm all about right now.
Yes. Okay. I'm just happy Linkin Park is back with like actual Linkin Park type music. None of this. Let's try new things.
I know. You're not necessarily a fan of trying new things.
No, I am definitely a fan of trying new things. I am not a fan of sticking with crap.
Okay.
And trying to make it work. If it doesn't work, ditch it. Stick to what works.
Okay. Well, what if... Well, you know what? Here's the thing, and I think you have to keep in mind that Linkin Park is not just a group that produces things for your enjoyment. They're artists.
They're not? I'm joking.
Yeah, I know. They're creators. They're artists. They explore themselves as artists and the things that they make. There comes a point as an artist where you want to branch out and try something radically different to better yourself and your skill. So as an artist, you have to respect that kind of different approach.
No, you're right. Which is why they've also branched. They branched out and did other things solo from what they do with Linkin with themselves, with together. You know, but still doesn't make it good.
And of course, that's always debatable. That's like when people say, "Oh, I like this band before they did this," or "I like this band after that."
You know what's funny? I just noticed something.
What?
It's weird. On here,
yes.
Like doing the podcast,
right.
I think I'm the negative one. And it's funny because in real life, you're the negative one. It's like I'm positive. Like, we got this, guys. Let's do this. No, don't worry. It'll be great.
I am always a realist, always, and I like to have a complete grasp of all things and angles. Stop laughing.
Let's go ahead.
True.
I'm going to try to segue this as best as I can. Speaking of grabbing things, how about grabbing a controller? What have you been playing lately?
I have not had the time for games.
Oh, yes, you have. I've seen you playing this one particular thing all the time.
Okay. I don't feel like Candy Crush is worth mentioning.
Yeah, it is, because it's not. It's not.
It's not that kind of game. It is a game, but not that kind of game. You know what I mean? That's just because it's so quick. You have 5 lives. You use them. You're done unless you have the money to purchase lives. And I just don't want to spend money to feed an addiction.
It's like junk food.
Right. You use it, you're done, and it's like, okay, so it like automatically limits you. Yeah, it automatically limits you.
Yeah.
So it's fine. You know what? You do it, you're done, come back an hour or so later. It's fine. The most recent game I have played was Heavy Rain for the PlayStation 3.
Yes.
And that was a really fantastic, amazing, great game.
Still haven't played. I got to play that. I still haven't played it.
You need to. I also played Beyond Two Souls. I like those kind of games.
With Ellen Page and William Dafoe?
I really like those kind of games right now. It's because you can just go through them at the end of a day when you're just so tired.
It's like Choose Your Own Adventure, but in a video game. Remember those books?
Yeah, it's like be part of the movie.
Do you remember those books?
Yes.
Those Choose Your Own Adventure? I love those books.
Ones.
I love those books. Like, I'd be reading the books and like, oh, do you go into the dark cave or do you take the stairs? Go into the dark cave, flip to page 67, go to page 67. Oh my God, I didn't read it. I didn't read it because in the bottom you notice that it says you die.
Yes. Like, no, it doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. Go to stairs. Take the stairs. That's those are. I remember those. Those are fun.
Yeah, what about you? Games? I've been seeing you doing the Grand Theft Auto thing, visiting all the stripper clubs.
A lot. There's only one stripper club. Thank you. The golden, the pink. No, the golden unicorn. I don't know what it's called. Something unicorn. But yes, I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto online. Getting ready for the whole heist update. That's going to be amazing. It's supposed to come in like next 2-3 weeks, hopefully. They say spring 2014. Spring has
have no
3 more weeks to go. I know you don't.
You
should try it though.
Until I can own and operate my own strip club and profit off of it, I will have no part in it.
This is not Fable. No, that's not a strip club. That's a brothel.
I couldn't even own my own damn brothel.
Oh, that's right.
What's the point in a game? Why can't I pay for the hookers but not own them? What is up with that?
You just want a game where
I just want a game where I can own and run a whorehouse and profit off of it.
Wow.
It would be completely fair treatment. They could union.
Okay. Wow. It'd be like Sim City.
Red Light
edition.
District.
The Red Light District. Yeah, it's a good one. That's a good one. Well, another one I've been playing is Titanfall.
I have actually kind of dabbled in that game, and
yeah, a little bit.
And it's pretty
It's
fun. I like when the machines step on people. It's like jelly beneath the machine's toes.
Oh my god! But yes, it's a lot of fun. But it's in, like you said, like you with Candy Crush. That's what it is. It's like junk food. It doesn't have a lot of substance to it. Like there's not a lot of meat to it. It's not. Oh my god, the story's so immersive, or the gameplay is just so realistic, or it doesn't have that. What it has is that quick satisfaction of going in there and killing a bunch of people and driving around in big robots and shooting a lot of guns.
Speaking of games, E3 is coming up.
Oh, crap.
And I know this was really hard for you to talk about. You had made plans to go to E3, but of course things just
happen.
didn't work out.
Life.
And they're of course going to discuss things at E3. And what were you looking forward to, like, enjoying there?
Well, that's actually something I wanted to talk about.
I'm sure you're going to be sitting there writing articles all day, watching it from home. You will keep us updated to the best of your abilities.
Of course. But there's actually something, it's a good thing you brought that up too, because I wanted to talk about that. A lot of the things that I'm excited for are some of there was a leaked, let me give you a little bit of backstory on this one. I wrote an article about a list that was leaked for E3 2014 this year. Of all the different publishers, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and all the things that they were going to show at their conferences. A lot of good and interesting things. A lot of the ones that I was interested in was like Fable Legends, Halo 5. Mm-hmm. They're actually going to show a new trailer from Halo 5. It actually has a name now. I can't remember the name for the life of me. I'll find it right now. Star Wars Battlefront 3. Right. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Star Wars Battlefront series.
Yes, I have.
It was on the play. It was amazing. The new God of War, new Uncharted, Bayonetta 2 was going to be playable.
Ooh,
there. I'm not going to get to
excited
play
about
it.
that. I don't understand one thing about Bayonetta right now, and I hope that they explain it in the games. Otherwise, I will be a pissy little fire ant. Okay. Her hair is her suit. When she transforms into her kick-ass suit, it is her hair. I do not understand the bob cut she's rocking right now, and she looks fantastic in it, but it just doesn't make sense. If she has a lack of hair, how is her suit made out of the hair? Okay.
Oh, yeah, because it was like this sort of dark magic thing where her hair was everything.
Yeah. So
her
like,
suit,
and it
her
like
shoes,
molded into the back of her hair, which was really cool. So I just hope that that's
you should
actually
even use it as a weapon, because some of the black you should actually be able to like projectile into like a weapon and.
Like
it was
Rapunzel
really
with a kick-ass side. Okay, but anyway, obviously I've watched a bit too much Tangled lately.
Yes. No, but I agree.
No, yeah, so I'm just hoping that's actually like a part of the storyline, or that's like explained. Otherwise, it's just
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
I guess I'm just one of those people where I'm nitpicky.
Maybe. Okay. Another one I was excited for, and you've seen some of the trailer for it, is Hyrule Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That one I think it looks amazing. I cannot wait to play that on the Wii. I mean, I have a game
Zelda fan.
on the Wii U that I can play. Oh god,
I'm
gonna play
nix that.
crap
He's
out of
a
that.
huge Link fan. Let's all just say what we all really feel. It should be the Legend of Link.
Yeah, it's man in green with little hats.
I know.
It does something for me. I don't know.
Riding around on his horse, little fairy whispering in his ear.
Well, there's a cool thing that was on the list that I hadn't noticed before, and it's a Wii U title, and it's a Zelda title.
Right.
It's called The Legend of Zelda: Shard of Nightmares.
Now that sounds cool.
Exactly. Maybe I just need to do a little more research on it, but I
like
haven't heard of that anywhere.
I would like to visit like the dark side of Hyrule, like the dark side of Zelda and Link and everything, like if it really went there.
Oh, like the whole world's going to crap.
Yes, and not
needs
like
to save the day.
Not like the apocalypse we all had in Majora's Mask, because even though it was an apocalypse, it was kind of a happy one. Like, everybody was sad, but everybody was still so adorable.
It was a moon. It was the mask boy from Ocarina of Time.
The moon was pretty creepy.
It is. At the time, being like 11.
Being like 9,
yeah.
That was pretty creepy. Just thinking of this weird smiling moon coming down to crush you.
It was pretty crazy.
Letting
So frustrating
the forces of
too.
gravity rip you apart.
So frustrating too under those time limits.
Right?
Oh, you had so much time in order to do certain things around the day. When I started, I think I played that thing for like 2 days. Like I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
And then you had to keep the time schedules like completely. Like you had to really Marty McFly that thing. Okay, you had to know what was going on, when, where, what day.
So much time travel in that game because you had to go. You would do something, and then you had to go back to the beginning of the day.
You needed a TARDIS.
It was God.
You needed a TARDIS.
What they need to do is make a half-decent Doctor Who game.
Let's not talk about the Doctor's name like that. Well, we none of us really know his name, but
half-decent game.
Let's not talk about the Doctor in such vile manners.
Okay, well, since we're on the topic of games, I want to go ahead and get into something at least a little more serious.
Okay.
I mean, all joking aside and stuff. There's I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the Extra Life campaign.
Yes.
I know you have. Of course you have.
Of course
I've told you about
it.
it. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm heading one in our local area. I'm heading an Extra Life, I guess a subdivision you could call it, because we're affiliated, but we're not directly in contact. It's anyways. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing in July, I don't know the exact date, we're going to be doing a 24-hour gaming marathon for the El Paso Children's Hospital. It's part of the Children's Miracle Network. What Extra Life does is you donate to Extra Life, and what they do is they buy video games and consoles, and whether it be board games or video games, many different things. They donate these items to whatever hospital you choose that's part of the Children's Miracle Network, and we're going to be playing for El Paso Children's Hospital.
It's a worthy cause.
Yes. Well, what they do is they end up buying all that stuff, and they donate it to them, and it allows those kids to have a certain outlet away from their surgeries, from their treatments. And it also gives a little more peace for the parents as well, because the parents obviously are paying a lot of medical bills. They're not going to be able to afford getting them a game system, some new games, a TV to play it on. They're not going to be able to afford any of that stuff. I mean, you can do so much more, of course, with the consoles, but the whole point is to give something to these kids that normally they wouldn't have otherwise because of their condition.
To take their mind off things,
exactly,
really.
Yeah.
Just to let them be kids. I mean, they're going through such grown-up, scary, horrible things, and let them be kids.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit. Just to distract them away from whatever it is that they're going through.
Exactly. Yes. Well, if you guys want to know any more information about it, we have a Facebook page, Extra Life El Paso. If you look that up on Facebook, Extra Life El Paso will have a little one-up mushroom as our icon, just to help you better look for it. Go ahead and look that up. Like us on there. We'll have more information. We'll release all the information whenever we're going to actually do this 24-hour thing. Of course, we'll mention it on the podcast, too. Yeah, so I strongly urge you guys, at least like the page and show your support. You don't have to make any sort of donations. If you guys want, you can even help us with the live stream. If you guys want to play online, we're going to be playing online many, many different games during the event.
Hell, just pressing the like and share button is helping.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The main thing is to get that word out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing, because the more people know about it, the more help that can be given. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on with this. One of the things that I found interesting that's going to be happening at the beginning of June,
yes,
is Xbox. You know how, we both have Xboxes.
Yes.
On that Xbox, you have to pay a subscription to access Xbox Live and all of its features, correct?
Frustratingly, yes.
Yes. So if you just want to use your Xbox for Netflix, Hulu, and all, those video services, you still have to pay not only your Netflix and Hulu, monthly fees, but your gold membership monthly fees on top of that. Well, as of starting June, they're going to go ahead and lift that, and even free members that don't pay monthly subscriptions are going to be able to watch Netflix and Hulu, just with internet
Oh,
connection.
that's amazing. So as long as you have internet, let me get this straight. As long as you have internet that is hooked up to your Xbox, you don't have to pay the Xbox membership fee, but you can still use the media streaming services.
Exactly, yes.
So the only reason you would need to pay for a gold membership is if you wanted to, say, do your online gaming and all that sort.
Yeah, exactly. Basically.
So like things like iHeartRadio or...
I'm not exactly sure if it includes all of those type of services, but one of the big ones that was announced was YouTube, Netflix, and Hulu. Some of the video services. I don't know about the audio services of yet. Maybe they have to pay a premium because a lot of those iHeartRadio I don't think has ads, do they? At least I don't see the ads.
Yeah, they have
on
ads.
There. And maybe they want to support their Xbox Music because they have a subdivision of their own for music called Xbox Music. So I don't know. Maybe. I mean, maybe you could be. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, it's.
I think that's great.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you know another thing that they're doing too. Say if you already paid for a year subscription and all you do is watch Netflix, Hulu, and all those other things. They're offering a refund, a partial refund for the time starting June until the end of your subscription that they'll give you your money back because now you're able to use the services without like a membership.
I should do that, and it's not because I don't use my Xbox. It's just in the way that our home is set up. It's really out in the living room, and it's mostly for our offspring's use.
Well, either way, you use it mainly for single-player games, or multiplayer, but with two controllers, not online. You don't play online too often.
No, we don't play online with my Xbox all that often.
Yeah, so and it's heavily used for everything like Netflix and Hulu and
yeah,
and all
like that. My Xbox is like our one-stop media thing out there.
Yes. Well, that's one thing. That's
okay.
really, really cool. Another thing I did want to talk about. It's actually pretty interesting considering that we were talking about having that 24-hour gaming marathon. It seems like there's a man in China.
Yes.
He suffered from a brain hemorrhage while doing a 3-day gaming marathon at an internet cafe in China.
How does he manage that? Like, I want to know, what is the medical logistics of that happening?
I don't know exactly. They haven't released that much. It's China. They're not going to release a bunch of information on it. But anyways, what they did release was that he was doing. They didn't say what game he was playing either, but he was doing. Let me get his name real quick. It's Zio. It's Xiao. Chow. I don't know how to say that. And how do you say his last name?
I think it's something like Xiao Qiang.
Maybe that could be it. Well, he was rushed over to Hunan Brain Hospital in Changsha.
Oh Lord, let me see that.
Hold on, no, that's what it says. Changsha. That's what it says. Well, anyways, he was sent to the hospital because of a brain hemorrhage. That he had also been at this internet cafe. Let's see here. He'd been at the internet cafe for a 3-day gaming session. So he was at that internet cafe for 3 days.
Why didn't anybody kick him out? Like, don't they close?
I guess it's 24-hour gaming internet place. I have no idea. I don't know. You don't see many internet cafes and stuff here. You don't see a lot of that here.
I know that's a bigger thing, like in larger cities and of course other countries like Japan and stuff. That's a huge deal over there.
Oh yeah, definitely. But one of the things that I'm also reading here is he was just a normal guy. He was an average office worker, and he liked playing online a lot.
I wonder if
he supposedly he enjoys eating fried chicken, drinking carbonated drinks, and weighs in at around 100 kilograms. What's 100 kilograms in pounds?
I don't know, Frank. We're American. Metrics aren't our strong suit.
Screw metrics. America. I'll find that out.
I love what they report. Like, when you read from those foreign news sites, they always, mention, the most irrelevant, mundane things.
You know what? He was a chubby guy, but he wasn't huge unless he was really short. And
I'm going by the typical stature for somebody from China. Isn't that is like about 5'4" for a man, 5'4", 5'5" for a man. Typical stature.
Around your size, 5'6", maybe.
About typical stature. Yeah. Weighing 220 pounds is not good.
No, yeah, that's 100 kilograms is 220.
According to our Google trans.
I love this about Google. Like you put in like currency. What's it called? Like when you want to find out what pounds is in
we're not
US
stupid.
dollars.
We're tired.
Yeah, very tired. Conversion. Jeez, that's the word I'm looking for. When you want to do a currency conversion or find out, how many pints are this, or you do it on there, and instead of having to click on a website to find the answer, Google will just be like, oh, well, here's the answer. There it is for you.
I do appreciate that feature.
Thank you, Google. Anyways, like we were saying, 220 pounds is what this guy weighed.
I wonder if he didn't have another underlying medical condition.
It's a possibility. All they say is it was a possible risk factor due to his weight. That's according to the doctors at the hospital. He's going to go ahead. He's going to recover most of his motor function, but will have impaired speech and some mental difficulties. Wow.
Like, I think that same thing might have been able to occur watching too much TV. Like, if he was doing, like, a 3-day movie marathon.
Possibly.
Assuming.
But did he
this is
sleep?
a lot of
Did he get up and
though.
use the restroom?
That's another thing.
Eat?
Lack of sleep, maybe a lack of food, whatever
it couldn't have necessarily... Because the way the article reads it is that it was him doing the gaming marathon that did it. It could have been lack of nutrition. He was malnourished a bit. He hadn't been sleeping.
There could have been a lot of things that were, the straw on the camel's back, so to speak.
He had a previous health condition. It could have been a lot. I like and I don't like articles like this. I like because they kind of give a warning to people that do like to do binge gaming or binge watching. It's like, hey, take a break. 5-10 minutes, go take a shower.
Personally, to me, and this is only because I'm
Close
a
your
logical,
eyes.
reasonable person, I don't think what he was doing necessarily is important as the fact maybe he wasn't taking care of himself. So the bigger thing is, hey, make sure you're healthy, because you never know what could trigger what.
Because even sitting on your ass playing games isn't healthy anymore.
It's like when people are like, oh, I don't want to go to the doctor. They might tell me I have diabetes. The doctor telling you have diabetes isn't what gave you diabetes. You still have diabetes. Eat too many of those Twinkies, and you will have... Your pancreas is going to be pretty angry.
Yeah. Yep. All right. There was another thing that you wanted to talk about before we wrap this up today.
Yes, I'm starting my own internet kind of thing right now. I'm going to start doing a blog, and it's all random nonsense, as for I am random nonsense. And it's just a lot of, I'm going to be honest, it's pretty feminine. It's going to do a lot of things that has to deal with, Pinterest. I want to do things like, weekly Pinterest. And, of course, a lot of women will know what I'm talking about when you see these things on Pinterest, and you wonder if you can really do it yourself. And I'd like to put some of those to the test. And I'm launching my own side project sometime this year. It'll be a comic series. I'm finally going to introduce it.
I've seen some of that stuff. It is really good. I'm
going to introduce
really
it, and I'm just going to say the name, Teddy Lumpkins.
And that's when people steal it. No, I'm kidding. But no, really, it is. I've seen some of the concept on it.
Yes.
It looks great. I'm excited for this and some of the ideas that you came up with that you want to do on it. I'm not going to say anything, of course, because nothing's finalized. I'm not going to spoil anything. But it looks fantastic. I can't wait to read it or to see it. It's going to be great.
I'm going to start starting on because I've done a lot of character concepts. I've done a lot of storyline concepts. I'm going to start getting into the storyline sketches and all that stuff. And hopefully I will start launching that on the internet by the end of the summer.
Yeah. And that's going to be alongside or on your blog, right? That's actually
yes.
You're going to get two
I'm gonna
completely
get the blog
different
started.
audiences on it.
I'm going to get the blog started up first just to get the feel of it.
Yeah.
And then I will be launching Teddy Lumpkins, and I will also be launching a Facebook hopefully next month for my blog. Mm-hmm. And once Teddy Lumpkins comes out, he will have his own Facebook.
That is awesome.
And he is a badass.
So it's like you got like a year plan. Like this is what's gonna happen.
Yes, it's gonna be a big year for me, and I know you're excited.
Oh yeah,
I'm definitely excited.
I've seen it, and I know just from what you've what you've been talking to me about, and seeing the sketches and stuff. I know it's gonna be great. Well, okay, I guess an idea of what it could be is think like Maybe you want to explain it a little more of what it is.
The best way I can put it is it's like if Alice in Wonderland is the setting and Tim Burton and in the whole Invader Sim thing had a really amazing love child.
Yes. And it was in the form of Teddy Lumpkins.
A pretty kick-ass teddy bear.
All right.
And I know people are like, teddy bear, but you know what? You've not seen him, so
Teddy
just
bear,
wait.
Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton. Who else did you say?
Invader Zim.
Invader Zim.
Like John and Vasquez kind
that
of just like...
sounds...
It is.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It's close to me. Teddy Lumpkins is close to me, and I can't wait to share that.
All right, then. So your blog is going to hopefully be coming out soon, and that'll be coming out.
It's going to have a lot of things, and it's really... It's going to be a lot of chick things. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be like makeup and Pinterest crap and random like deals and finds. It's also going to have like, just be my most self-indulgent thing yet, where I talk about, things I'm baking or making or whatever the hell tickles my fancy that day, okay?
All right. Well, so when can we expect the blog at least to be up?
The blog right now is currently open to the public. There's not many posts. I think I only have like 3 posts on it so far. But it'll be...
Do you have a website for it?
Yes, and I will provide that information next time.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and put it in the link dump. You'll find that with this podcast.
It's through the WordPress thing, so that's all I know right now.
We'll go ahead. We'll put it in the link dump as well as the stuff with Extra Life and everything else that we talked about today.
Right.
Another thing. When did you say your comic is it a comic strip or is it a?
I'm gonna start off as a comic strip, but I hope that there's bigger plans for Teddy Lumpkins in the future.
All right. When should we hopefully see something?
You will probably see the first comic strip of that. I'd say probably by like the end of August for sure.
Well, you said it. That means
I set
you got to do it.
For
you
myself.
set a deadline.
It's amazing.
It's done.
Next paycheck, I gotta go buy my paints and crafts.
People on the internet are waiting. Once you put it on the internet, it's not going away.
True.
It has to be true. All right, then. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. Go ahead and tune in next time, hopefully in a week. We'll see. We'll see about it. But we'll see you guys next time.
All right.